Hi, brother teacher here. You know, when I was coming up in the martial arts, we had a school or two, and we were required to sign a contract for classes initially, some of us, and we paid a monthly fee for classes. And anytime any student was promoted to the next grade or rank, there was a promotional or test fee involved. And each level and or rank that we were promoted to, the fee would increase. Sometimes by $20, sometimes by $50, or even $100 or more dollars, depending on the rank. More proper, once you received the rank of black belt and beyond, the fee actually got astronomical. So you could potentially be paying $15 to $25 for the first or second promotion test, from white belt to yellow belt, green belt, and so forth. And by the time you reach black belt, you were paying $500 to maybe well over $1,000 for master, and so forth. But my question to you today, those of you that have been in the martial arts for some time, and even those of you that may be relatively new to the martial arts, and even those of you that may have students or some of your family members that are participating in martial arts that's paying a class fee and promotional fees. My question is this: why are you paying such absorbent amounts of promotional or testing fees? Is it necessary? And what is it for? And quite frankly, why does it change in the beginning versus what you pay in the end? In other words, if you start out your first month and your second month maybe, and you receive your first rank, let's say it's $40 or $50. By the time you receive your middle rank, it's $150 or $200. And by the time maybe 4 or 5 years you receive your black belt, if not longer, it's $1,000 or more. I have even seen schools charge their students for master rank, 4th, 5th, or 6th dan, $2,000 or $3,000. Why is this? I mean, you will receive a sheet of paper that's going to be a certificate. Sometimes it's larger. That's going to indicate that you achieved a certain rank, along with your belt rank or your sash, maybe even the patch. But what are you really paying for when you have to pay hundreds and even thousands of dollars for a promotion test? Or is this money just simply lining the pocket of the instructor? Let me tell you this. This is my philosophy. This is what I believe now. Now, I was one of those individuals that was paying those fees for promotional tests when I was coming up. But when I became an instructor, I became a little bit more liberal, a little bit more understanding, and even wiser. And I realized that a lot of the people that I was training, which were sort of in the poor category or working poor category, they could not afford hundreds and thousands of dollars for class fees. But that was not the reason I didn't charge those amounts. It was the principle behind it. I had to ask myself the question one day. I had to have a talk with myself, with my soul, and ask myself, why are you charging, or why would you be charging these people this absorbent amount of money? Outside of the fact you would be greedy. And I'm not greedy. Never have been. And my students can tell you that. They can attest to this fact. So, this is what I believe. I charge my students for the rank, what it cost me to purchase the rank, what it cost for the actual material, if it's boards or bricks that may be used during the promotion, what it cost for the certificate, and a little bit above that for my time and my experience as a professional. Just a little bit above that. Now, each test is not that much different than the one prior to. Oftentimes, depending on how the industry is commercially, some of the ranks that you purchase, especially when you get to your darker color belt ranks, it costs you more versus a white belt, yellow belt, green belt, and so forth. When you start getting black belts, they become more fancy and things like this, and the cost is even more throughout the industry. So you might have to charge a little bit more for the material. But understand this, it doesn't cost $1,000 to conduct a promotion for one individual. It doesn't even cost $500 to conduct a test, just generally speaking, for one individual. So it's my contention that all of the instructors have become used to this tradition of promoting people, oftentimes just to gain additional revenue, to pay their bills off that maybe they're delinquent on, or maybe pay the bills off that they don't want to pay out of their own pockets if they have a job. They want to make money from the students and have the students pay all of their bills virtually, instead of being fair with the student. I don't believe that anyone, Korean, Japanese, Chinese instructors, American instructors, as it were, should charge anyone well over $100 for any promotion test. Because when you exceed that, and that's just a general guideline or foundation, when you exceed that amount of money for a belt certificate, for the most part, unless you're buying them a uniform, a new uniform, you don't need to charge them that much. So, instructors, this is some admonishment to you. Stop milking your students to fill your own pockets. Life is already hard. Some people might say, well, they can afford it. So that's the strategy, or that's the reasoning that you want to use to charge them that amount of money. They can afford it. I don't care if they're rich. Would you charge them that much money to go to the next rank and they're worthy of it, or they have displayed exceptional skill? I wouldn't. So again, myself, as I'm speaking today right now, on the 18th of May 2019, I would never charge my students more than $150 maximum presently for any rank. And I'm speaking primarily of the higher ranks in my system. Never, ever. And I'm old school, and I've been at this almost 50 years, and I'm speaking like this. Howbeit, there are those that still charge $500, $600, $1,000 or more, $2,000 for black belt and master rank and so forth, or even grandmaster, guru, doctor, doesn't matter. They're accustomed to that salary, or they're accustomed to that fee. They're accustomed to having that extra money to put in their pocket and make their car payment or their mortgage. But I'm never going to abuse my students for the sake of a dollar bill. I'm not going to do that. And as I said before, they'll tell you that. I am probably one of the most reasonable instructors that there is, because I love what I do. And I love the fact that I'm benefiting another human being on many levels. So, if you are a parent of a student that's studying and training in the martial arts, and you fall in this category where every time your child or your family member is eligible for a promotion test, and it's in the hundreds and even thousands of dollars, you may want to pull that instructor over to the side and ask them, what does this amount of money cover? Now, with that being said, please understand this, that instructor does deserve to be paid for his experience and his time, or her time. But they don't need to be overpaid, overcompensated, because they're doing a good deed. Now, whatever happened to instructors that sincerely and genuinely cared about the student and not so much about the money? Do they still exist? That's the question of the day as well. So parents, beware of those instructors that are milking you, and every 2 or 3 months your child is getting another rank and another rank and another rank. It doesn't happen that easy. Oftentimes when you get promoted to one rank, it's several months or even a year before the next rank. Not every month, every other month. Something's going on. Can you say you're being milked? Possibly. And you instructors that are charging these absorbent amounts of money for promotional fees, shame on you. You need to go back to the class of ethics, of morality. I don't care if you like what I'm saying or not. It doesn't mean that what I'm saying is not true. The most important thing is that you have to look in the mirror and you have to face you every day. This is Brother Teacher. Be fair as an instructor, not greedy.